Thank you very much, Professor Karori Singh from the South Asia Center Studies, for your effort to shorten. But I give the word to Professor Riba, and I ask Professor Tin Chao Chin the favor to go maybe 5 minutes more than 11. Oh, I thank you. We are going to make effort to plant a big tree, vigorous one. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. Even with that additional 5 minutes, I think I will not be able to speak for more than 10 minutes. So I have to be very brief, and I promise that I will not take more than that.
But you take your time. You have it.
My paper is on agrarian question and mechanization, written in the context of Kerala. Though the study is made in the context of Kerala, I think it will have some messages for rest of India and other third world regions. This study is furthered with the completion, and I should mention that also. Now, this study was undertaken as a part of a larger project to study the agrarian crisis in Kerala. Some of you may know that agriculture in Kerala is in deep crisis. It's not a question of relative decline in the share of employment or share of output of agriculture. In Kerala, agriculture is almost disappearing, particularly non-plantation agriculture. There is absolute decline in area, employment, output, and almost all indicators, and that is continuing for a long period of time now. So we have undertaken a detailed study of this agrarian crisis in Kerala, and we have come up with some explanation for the crisis. And we are also proposing some suggestions to tackle the question of agrarian transition in Kerala. I am not going into those suggestions, but among those reasons which we identified for the sharp decline of the agricultural sector in Kerala, there are certain reasons related to mechanization and labor. Labor is a major issue in Kerala agriculture because there is considerable shortage of labor as far as agriculture is concerned. The average age of agricultural laborers will be more than 50. Younger generation is not getting attracted into agriculture. As a result, labor is not available and labor costs are going up. Real wages in Kerala have been increasing. Construction and agriculture sector wages, rural wages in general, and Kerala wages are much higher than wages in other states. Now, these are very good reasons for mechanization. Farmers should have gone for mechanization given the fact that there is severe labor shortage and the cost of labor is very high. And what about resistance against mechanization? In 1970s, early 1970s, when tractors were introduced, there were labor protests. But that's an old story. Now Kerala labor is not against mechanization. The left parties in Kerala, they are not against mechanization. So all favorable conditions are there. In spite of that, mechanization is not progressing fast. Now we have gone into the details why this is not happening. But again, because of time constraint, I will not get into the detailed discussion of those factors. But I will just summarize by saying that one very important reason for slow pace of mechanization is atomization of farming in Kerala. When I say atomization of farming in Kerala, there are two dimensions to it. Both these dimensions are very familiar for people working on agrarian question in India. One is fragmentation of holdings. Third world agriculture is generally characterized by fragmentation of holdings, but in Kerala it is too severe. We are dominated by, our agriculture is dominated by tiny farms. In addition to that, there is a problem. Fragmentation per se need not be a deterrent to mechanization. If farmers can come together, if they can come together, make cooperative societies, and if the government is also helping to get out of scale problems, then they can go for mechanization. But government policy generally in India is against any effort for farmers to come together to get over problems of atomization, problems of fragmentation. This is a major problem in Kerala also, because individual farmers cannot invest so much in combined harvesters, tractors or transplanters. Wherever they have come together to form societies, wherever the government had helped them, in fact the previous government previous LDF government had involved certain major program of helping mechanization by forming cooperative societies and all. Wherever such initiatives came, mechanization is progressing well, and it is having an impact on agriculture, because in our survey of 9 villages, we have seen that there is considerable reduction in cost of production wherever mechanization is introduced, and the returns are also quite high wherever mechanization is coming. But that is happening only where farmers are helped to come together, make societies, and get over the problem of tiny holdings. Now I will come to another major reason why mechanization is not progressing. I think this has implications for agriculture almost everywhere in the world. In fact, if you closely observe, capital is not any more interested in agriculture. Particularly, capital is not interested in farming. We speak about concentration and landlordism. That may be true in the context of rest of India, but in Kerala we cannot complain about landlordism. In fact, that is not the problem in the context of Kerala, but people who are having money, capital is not interested in farming, and in Kerala what is happening is that whoever is having money, they are investing in land. They are investing in land, they are holding on to land, not for agriculture, they are not interested in farming, they are interested in the real estate value of land. And in Kerala, because of heavy remittances, the land in Kerala has now become an asset like securities, like gold, and it has ceased to be a productive asset. And we are facing a severe problem, because we will have to address this contradiction, growing contradiction between land as an asset and land as a means of production. And now the challenge before Kerala is to reinstate the role of land as a means of production. This contradiction between these two roles of land will have to be addressed by proper legislation, etc. But again, in other parts of the world also, we should sincerely ask whether capital is getting more and more interested in farming. Capital is interested in trading. Post-harvest operations, capital is there. But they are not, capital is not coming in a big way into agriculture or investing in machines, etc. because agriculture is not rewarding. The rate of return is not high, and it's quite natural because the demand, the aggregate demand is shifting in favor of industry, services and other sectors. And if we believe in any kind of lower value, in fact the rate of return in agriculture cannot be high, cannot be even equal to the rest of the economy, because that's the only way low value can ensure movement of capital, labor, which are in excess, which are caught up in agriculture, they should be pushed down. So the rate of return is low in agriculture, wages are low. This is the problem that agriculture is facing everywhere, and that's why capital is shying away from farming. But somehow the political economists generally, they are not very keen to discuss the demand side of it, and we are obsessed in a particular way where we don't discuss the way demand is drifting away from agriculture and the need to get away from agriculture, the need to move population out of agriculture. Some of these aspects, I thankfully remember, were mentioned in Professor Samir Amin's lecture as well as in Professor Prabhat's address in the morning. Thank
you. The session is over. First, I thank all the speakers for their speech, all interesting and important. And I am very sorry, and I think you are also very sorry to be not able to ask questions. But we can do it during the break and during the meet, and you can ask for meeting and have correspondence with the speakers. Now it is time to go to the new event. I thank everybody for their patience and attention, and we go. Thank you very much.
So we will have a group picture outside for discussion, and then we go to the